Hello, everybody. I hope you're here. Hi, Kate. I see you. Sorry for being late. I'm having some phone camera difficulties, but here we are. We're at the mural. Check it out. It's pretty big. Let's see if I can put it like this, and then I'm gonna be popping back. Kate, let me know if you can hear me, because I don't actually know if my mic is working. Hi, Dan. Hi, Kate. Let me know if you guys can hear me when I'm up close, because I don't know. Yay, thanks, Flibberty. All right. Well, I am here at my mural. This was a community effort project where we put on a paint by numbers on this wall, and the whole neighborhood came out and helped me paint the first layer. So now I'm here just doing touch-up bits and kind of getting the rest of it finished, and hopefully we'll be able to have it done here soon. But I haven't had time to get into the studio, which is why I'm out here doing this. So I wanted to give you all something, like some type of content for Tutorial Tuesday, and just show you what I've been working on, which has been really, really, really cool. So I'm gonna pop back in a few minutes. Think of some questions you've been dying to ask me, you know, anything that is relevant to painting or Kaylee, and I'll pop back in about 8 minutes and answer some of your questions. But I'm gonna pick up some paint and get to the working. I'll see y'all in a little bit.
Fine.
Yeah,
8 minutes. I set a timer for 8 minutes.
Yeah. I hope I get some good questions today.
Okay, you are online with your laptop.
Okay.
And I have YouTube Studio open, but I don't know where to go.
Yeah, I don't know either. Probably just to the actual video on the web. should be able to see the chat. But I'll go look on the camera in a little bit.
Yeah, you're fine.
right. Let's see. Do I have any questions? Yeah, Kate, this is a really big fence. So now's the time to fire away if you have any questions for the live Q&A. I'm here to answer them. Would love to see a turtle tutorial. Your underwater turtle is amazing. You'll have to just go check the tutorial that I have up there. That's the only one I have right now. This is probably a while back with some music, so maybe we can do a voiceover or a new video with a turtle. That'd be pretty fun. I can add that to the list. Rob, anyone else have some questions, or I'm just gonna get back to painting, but definitely type in your questions if you have some. I know you guys ask me questions all the time about things, so definitely feel free to put them in there. But all right, I'm gonna be back in another 10 minutes, and you better have some questions ready for me. It's not gonna be a very good Q&A if I don't have any questions to answer, right? So hour of me painting and no questions. Maybe I should have come up with my own.
Maybe.
Oh, did you set another timer?
I did.
Cool, thanks. chickadee's being real cute.
Got it.
Can you still see me on the camera? Or are you not watching?
I wasn't watching, but I'm moving on. Yes.
Cool. Thank you. Anybody ask any questions yet?
Let's see. Big fans.
It's okay.
Paint mediums other than oil. I assume this isn't.
Yeah.
That is really cool. Have you ever considered doing a large one like this, showing the change of seasons? A section for each season.
That'd be fun. That's a good idea. Alright, I'll go over there in just a
I
second.
also wonder if it's difficult to change to a different kind of medium. I assume there are techniques that don't transfer well from one medium to another.
Yeah. All good questions.
Are you self-taught?
Let's go see.
Your dad says hi.
Hi, Dad. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to scroll through these. I was being read some of the questions, but I'm going to come back and answer some. Let's see. Rob Turtle on the list. Fliberty Gibbets. Do you paint in mediums other than oil? I assume this isn't. This is my first time really doing anything that's not in oil. And then the oils were a self-taught skill that I learned about 4 years ago. So, wow, there's a hawk that just is chasing a squirrel on the telephone pole because I'm outside. I fear if I try and change the camera, he'll fly away, but let's go. Can you see him up on the telephone pole? There's a hawk at the top, way up at the top. There, you can't really see him, but he's all the way up there. Anyway, he's gonna eat a squirrel, hopefully not while I'm here, maybe after that, that'd be cooler. Okay, back to the questions. Sorry, I'm all distracted. So yeah, this is wow, why can't I come up? Latex. This is a latex paint, so like an outdoor house paint. This particular one is a really good high weather one, and they call this Latitude. I got it from Sherwin-Williams. It was really great price, and they helped me out with all of it. So I actually just went in there and was like, I don't know what I'm doing, and I need paint. So they picked out everything for me. So that was pretty epic. Let's see, Howard asked, that's really cool. Have you ever considered doing a large one showing the change of seasons? That's a super cool idea. This is actually my very first mural that I've ever worked on, and for it to be a paint by numbers project, I'm actually just surprised that it went as well as it has so far. So I love that idea for the 4 seasons. Maybe I'll present that for next year's project, since this was just a yearly kind of community get together donation project that I worked on. So maybe for next year. But if anyone else would like a mural on their wall, you know, call me up and I'll come over and maybe paint up your wall. That'd be fun. Flibberty, I also wonder if it's difficult to change to different mediums, and there's different techniques that don't transfer for sure. Pretty much all of this is brand new, but I like to do challenging things, and I particularly like things when I'm like, oh, that's gonna be really hard. That's right up my alley. So anyway, completely different when it comes to most of the techniques. Loading the brushes, I mean, I'm just dipping it out of a cup, so I'm not really using much of the oil painting technique for what I'm doing here, but it definitely seems to be playing a part when it comes to colors, working with gradients and stuff like that. So it's not like nothing is applicable when we're doing a different style like this, but you definitely have to kind of adapt to it. And I'm still trying, so we'll see how it turns out when it's all done. Rob Smith, are you self-taught? Yes, I'm self-taught. I've been painting for 4 years. I taught myself how to paint with oils by watching YouTube, and that's why I now have a YouTube channel, because it just seemed right for me to share and just allow anyone who's interested in learning something new an easy space to go to get that information, and also kind of have a fun interactive environment that we can all bounce ideas off of each other and just get encouragement from each other. And that's really my main goal with this channel. So it's been really fun to kind of develop that. Hi, Dad. Again, when is your favorite time of day to create? From Dan. I actually think kind of right in the middle of the day is usually my preferred time to paint. Maybe in the morning. I don't really like doing late evening paintings, but if I had a good nap and some good food, maybe I'd be motivated. But definitely more towards the beginning part of the day, and then I kind of like to relax and take it easy at the end of the day, cook a nice meal, maybe sit down in front of some dumb TV show or something like that just to kind of stare off. But my wind down is pretty nice and enjoyable. Kate, need to swing the camera a bit so we can see you in action. I kind of did a bad job of getting my camera set up today because I forgot my adapter at home, so don't hate on me too much for that. I'm sorry, Kate. Rob, I can't see that question. Let me see if I can scroll. I learned to paint from watching YouTube videos like Easy Oil Painting and Stephen Conway and like yours and Bob Ross. That's really cool, Rob. I hope that you keep learning and keep teaching yourself and just letting your wants as an artist to inspire you and continue learning, because that's how we're supposed to do it. I'm not so fancy as I think. I love that name. Hi, Kaylee. If I remember you said you were an adventurer before you found painting. Do you have any vids of this? That would be cool to see. I don't know if I really have any videos of that. I probably have some pictures of mountain biking. I know if you search really hard, you'd probably find some videos of me playing volleyball online. I played for Pima Community College, so you might find some of that, but I didn't really grow up in the time of recording everything. I don't really have a lot of like photo evidence of some of the activities that I grew up doing, because we didn't really have phones or services or anything that we would want to be taking with us on those activities. So like cliff jumping or something crazy like that, like I didn't bring a phone with me. And if I did, it was probably left in the car because it's in the middle of the desert and you just walk 10 feet to the stream and go jump in and then get back in the car and off you go. So yeah. You'd have to search the internet, but I'm sure you can find some. I'm not so fancy as I think. And hey, James from Minnesota, thank you all for being here. I think we've got about 30 more minutes left that I had planned for the live. So I'll get back to working a little bit. Maybe if I put it like, I don't know, here, and then I'll work. Hold on, maybe I'm actually working more over here. There we go. This maybe will work. There. Okay. I'm gonna go paint a little bit more and then I'll be back in like 10 minutes to answer some more questions. So put more questions in there or hold on to them until I come back. But I would love to hear any more questions that you have that are relating to this wonderful mural that I'm working on right now, or something that you've just been dying to ask me for a really long time. Well, since I'm still here, I guess I'll answer, do you have a favorite color palette? Yes. But I would probably say more, I have a few color varieties that I like to use for particular scenes. And I kind of do more like mood painting. So my palette will depend on the mood that I'm in that day. So I have definitely favorite palettes, probably more relatable to the day that I'm painting and what I'm painting and all of that. But oh, that's a tough one. I know I like all of the colors for I use all the Bob Ross paints and I use most of those, but I don't really use the cadmium yellow very much because it's like really bright. But alizarin crimson is one of my favorites. Phthalo blue and Prussian blue. I mean, if I'm doing an autumn scene, I'm gonna go with Prussian blue. If I'm doing a summer bright scene, I'm gonna go with phthalo blue. So yeah, that's kind of a loaded question, James, but I love that you're asking it because you're making me think, and that's what we're here for. All right, I will be right back. I'll give you all a few more minutes to think of some more questions, and I'm gonna go work on some of this green grassy area here, and then I'll try and stay in the camera so that you can actually see me. I'm sorry, Kate. Almost done.
Doing great. You framed that well.
That hawk is being really pretty. Did you see him almost fly through the scene?
Yeah.
He's like attacking. He's hungry. Is she?
thicker coats on now too.
Yeah, that definitely painting on brick is hard, or concrete, or whatever this is. That I think is the hardest part. Getting all them holes to fill. How long has it been?
Almost 4 minutes. Yeah. Time.
Alright, do I have more questions? Let's see. Flibberty, did you get to decide what would be painted on the wall, or was that a community decision? Okay, so this particular mural is in dedication to a handful of kids in the neighborhood who have rare diseases. And so the only decided thing that we had in mind is that we would put a few elements for those children onto the wall. So we're going to be doing some of those elements in a couple months, so that all the kids can partake in it. Maybe they'll put in a little bird for themselves or a hummingbird, something that represents them into the scene. And so I just had some really rough guidelines on something that could kind of bring comfort. And we all, I mean, live in the outdoors. We live right by the mountain. So all the people that live in this neighborhood really like the outdoors. So I went with an outdoor scene and I drew up a sketch and submitted that to the group, and everybody liked it. So here we are. There were not very many rules on that. Thankfully, the first sketch and everything that I had all ended up working out, and everybody really enjoyed it. So I guess I should be grateful for that we didn't have too much more effort on trying to get a decision made on what to paint. But I was really excited. I wanted it to feel kind of zen, kind of a place that you can go and relax and just look out. And so we've got a nice lake and some reflection, some mountains and trees. So all my favorite things. One more question from Flibberty. Looks like it is meant to match the background scenery. That was kind of intentional on the design because I knew there was a bunch of pine trees here, so I was kind of hoping it would work out. So thanks for noticing, because yes, that was planned. Have there been any challenges to painting something of this size? From Dan. Yes, it's huge. This is 65-foot wall and it's 7 feet tall, so it's really long, and it is cinder block, completely unpainted on, so I had to prime it. Thank goodness I had some help for that, and then painting the whole first layer on the wall. Like I said, the community helped me get all of that done, so thank goodness. If I was doing this whole thing by myself, well, I'd probably still be working on the first coat, to say the least. So that was definitely really helpful. And I think the hardest part for something that's this scale is just the same as when you're on a canvas. You feel like you're right up next to it and you spend all of your time right up next to it. So it's really important to step back and get a good view from further away. And for something this big, I've got to walk pretty far away just to get a good view of it, which I do forget to do. So that's something that I'm working on, trying to remind myself to take a few steps away to check it out, and come back to it and see how the distance affects the way that some of this looks, because it looks different from further away than it does up close. So that would probably be the most challenging thing. That's a really great question, Dan. And Rob, when you're finished, will you apply some kind of a sealer? So when I went to Sherwin-Williams, I asked them that question and they told me that I didn't really have to. I could, but it's not really necessary for this kind of paint. So probably not. If we find that over the next year or two that it is degrading in any kind of way, maybe we'll consider it. But there's a couple other murals in the park and they seem to be doing really well with the same paint, so we probably won't seal it. It's just as long as it's fully coated really well and all of the holes have been filled, then we'll know that it should last for a good period of time. So yeah, that's a really great question. I think there are definitely a few surfaces that you may need to prime. For instance, if you're painting on wood and you were doing oils, that would definitely be one that you would probably want to seal, because the elements can really affect the way that the wood reacts. But yeah, you don't have to. It just depends on the type of paint that you use and the surface, how you prep it and all of that stuff. So anyway, I was really well educated from the folk over at the paint store. They helped me just understand all of it, because this is new for me. And yeah, but you might as well just get the information yourself firsthand, ask the people who know. So that's what I did. All right, if there aren't any other questions, we've got about 15 minutes left in my live Q&A of my mural wall touch-up. I'm just gonna move to a little bit further down so that I can paint some more on this side. Maybe I'll move further away and then you should be able to see. Okay, I'm gonna go paint. Plop. I didn't even see how many people were watching. But it doesn't seem like the normal group.
Not as big. Uh, 18 people.
Oh, that's pretty normal. Ooh wee, I wish there was a pool out here.
Yeah, right.
It's hot. I don't want to run too far away.
Yeah.
I didn't plan it very well, but I didn't want to not have a video.
Yeah, that's okay.
Oh, am I hiding? Thanks.
Let's see if that shows up now.
I was hiding. Any questions?
I'm looking again right now. Oh, what was it doing?
It's okay.
It started me from the beginning, so it's actually playing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's weird. Here, I found it. There you go. Yes, you're totally in the middle now. And the questions was,
I'll just go.
what made you decide to take up painting?
Right, I'm back. Liberty, I just heard this question. What made you decide to take up painting? Did you do any other arts and crafts before you took up painting? That's a fun question. I started painting after I broke my ankle. I was really sad. I couldn't go outside. And I started watching Bob Ross, and he said anybody could do this. And I thought it was kind of a joke. So I bought a set of paints from the Bob Ross little kit. I got the like $150 kit, I think, and tried to follow along with Bob, and I found that I really enjoyed it, and that kind of just catapulted into I started painting anytime that I wanted to go outside and I couldn't with my broken ankle. And then I kind of was like, oh, I could basically paint anywhere that I wanted to go, and it has continued that way. So every time that I set out to paint, I am putting myself into the scenes and I really enjoy it. And that's kind of why I've continued to do it so much, because it allows me to travel all over the world and I'm doing it on a canvas. And I think that that is a really fun way to be creative, to follow your own passion and to follow your own feelings, and to paint what you're feeling, to express what you're feeling. And so that's how I started painting, and that's how I've continued to grow and evolve. I always come back to that thought of, you know, why do I do this? And I do it for me. And thankfully other people also resonate with that, which is my, you know, what I'm most grateful for, because other people also feel certain things when they look at my art, and I think that that is really powerful. So that's what got me into it, was a broken ankle. I broke my ankle on a trail hiking, and it really sucked. So I made something out of it, and I'm really glad for it. James, how do you know when you can paint over another color? That's my challenge now. I usually end up blending too much of my colors together and lose the image because the undercoat was too wet. So to that question, James, I typically am painting wet on wet, so I don't let anything dry. So everything is always wet, and you're always painting on top of something wet. So this particular adventure that I'm doing is very different because this dries really fast. It dries within minutes, and I can go over and paint over it pretty quickly. It does get a little bit tacky after a little bit of time, and then you can't really layer too much more on. So if I've already put a really thick coat on, I can't put another really thick coat on for at least an hour, and then I can go at it with another layer. So this particular style painting on the wall is very, very different to the wet on wet oil painting, which is what I'm normally showing on the channel. So I hope that's not too confusing, but when we're working with the wet on wet oils, that is going to be very, very different when we come to layering paints on top of each other. And we're always going to be working with fats and working with the heavier fat versus the lighter fat, and something is going to stick or not stick. So we're kind of balancing out that action, where with this, it just all dries really fast, just kind of like an acrylic painting. It's going to dry pretty fast, and in between it getting dry, it's going to be kind of sticky, and you're not going to have an easy time working with it. You can't really blend any of this very well oil because it's always going to be dry. So these styles are pretty different from the wet on wet technique. But James, to your question, if you'd like to email me, Kaylee@KayleeRakowski.com, I could probably go into a little bit more detail and help you out with the layering. If you're using oils, I can definitely help you out with that. If you're using acrylics, I have some tips for that as well. I don't paint in acrylics, but I know things and I learn them, and I kind of don't really forget them once I learn them. So I probably have some tips even for you. But yeah, let me know. And then let's see, looks like you're putting a shape into your grass. Yeah, definitely. Trying to work in all of the block colors first, just like we would in a lot of other styles of creativity when it comes with painting. We kind of block in our color. And then once all of the colors blocked in, especially with this concrete wall, there's a lot of holes, so I'm filling in all of those little holes so that it looks more crisp around the edges. And then we can come in and put in a little bit more detail, but it's a lot more difficult to continue to thicken all of the little small details. So we start with nice big smooth lines, and then we come in after those big smooth lines are done and dry and filled, and you can work on little fine details. And it's very comparable to an oil painting where you work on your big block colors, your big features, maybe your house, barn, mountain, big trees, and then you come in and put on your little sticks and twigs and little pieces of grass with your script liner and finish it. So yeah, you got to start small, get the foundation there like this, get all of the color on there, and then you can start putting in some finer details. So I love that you're noticing all of that. Hi ma'am, good morning from India. Hi, I'm sorry, I'm not sure if I would know how to pronounce your name, but I'm gonna go for it. Ajun Grav. Hi, thanks for joining. We just ticked over on the 1 hour mark, so I'm probably gonna get out of here real soon so I can pack up my big mess and go home and eat some yummy food. But I would love to hear if any of you have any more questions. Kate, if you're still here, thank you for being here for everybody. But let's see if anyone else has some more questions, but I'm gonna just show you the whole wall. This is the section that we still need, you know, a little bit of work on. You can see some of the gaps that need to be filled over there, and just kind of, you know, going all the way to the edges. So that's basically what I've been doing for the past couple of days, just to touch up everything that's been done. And then if we come all the way over here into the sun, we have this side that's like quite a bit more finished, and you can see all of the fun details. We have all of the really nice crisp lines. They're really soft and smooth on all of the lines for the outline, and then all of the colors filled in. So this one is almost ready to do our black outline, which is going to go around some of the trees, some of the bushes here, and some of these colors here, and then we'll fill it in on top of our little kind of mountainy scene over here as well. So we'll put in a few little outlines that kind of pull out some of the details. But like I said, we can't do any of that until it's all filled in. So that's what I'm here for, and that's what I'm doing. So thank you, everybody. Thanks, Dad. I saw you were here. Kate, James, Flibberty. I don't know if we had all of the usuals today, but it was definitely something different. So I'm really glad that you were able to join for any of it today and to be here for my craziness, because that's what I'm doing and that's what I am. So hope you all have a great rest of your day. Be back here next Tuesday at 5 o'clock. We're going to be in the studio. I have a couple ideas for painting. I'm kind of thinking about doing a little rose garden for Jennifer. I think that would be really fun. There's a couple areas in my neighborhood that have some beautiful roses that are popping off right now. So I've got a few photos of those. Yeah, I don't know. I had a couple other ideas that are written down for what I might want to paint, but I guess if you have some ideas, send me some messages on one of my last posts or on this video here. Just pop it down in the comments below if you have some ideas of what you want to see next week. But I'm not going to decide right now exactly, but I've been really thinking about doing something roses for Jennifer. So hopefully I'll see you here next week. And thank you all so much for being here. Thank you, James. Thank you, Kate. I know it's really big. It's really big. I've been saying that for a while here. Maybe I'm gonna walk really far away and you guys will see how far away I have to go to get this whole thing. Oh my gosh, I'm still walking. Can you see it? Oh, I kicked my tripod. Still walking. Okay, maybe that's the whole thing. You could almost see it. Let me get out of the way there. Yeah, so huge, right? A really big mural over there. And it's in a really, really big park. So I'm gonna show you, this is my awesome park. And it's so cool. So we're just so thankful. This is my local park. I come to it pretty often, and so now I get to come look at my mural on the wall and remember this wonderful community activity that we all did. So thank you all so much for being here with me. My name's Kaylee. I paint wet on wet landscape oil paintings and now big giant murals. So hit me up if you want a mural in your area. Bye, everybody.